Guys, Andre with CruzeKids.com. Today I got a quick video for you regarding the Big 3 kit that I've been selling on the site for a while. Wanted to kind of explain what this kit does, wanted to show you how to install it, and give you some more details about it. So, a Big 3 kit is a wiring upgrade for the engine bay. There are 3 primary connections in the engine bay that we are upgrading. That's going to be your battery positive to alternator. That's going to be your engine block to chassis ground or negative. And then that's going to be your battery negative or ground to your chassis. So these are the 3 primary connections, and I'll explain what all this does. The kit comes with these 3 cables, 6 zip ties, and a flange bolt. These cables specifically are designed with a closed ring terminal, so you don't get corrosion inside. They're tin coated, so they also don't corrode like the copper ones do. They're marine adhesive lined heat shrink. So they're actually sealed on both ends, so you can't get any corrosion inside there from condensation. And the cable I'm using is a true 4 AWG spec, not just a 4 gauge, true spec oxygen-free copper welding cable. It's a fine strand cable, it's pretty flexible, you can wrap it around places, so it's easy to work with. Alright, so let's move over to the engine bay and I'll show you how all this works. Alright, this is going to be on the Chevy Cruze. The Chevy Sonic is a little bit different, and I'll explain the differences. But on both engines, you're going to have the flange bolt that's getting hooked up right here. This is going to be your engine block to chassis connection. You're going to run the wire over the charge pipe, and over here you got some ground studs on the chassis. You're going to hook it up to this one right here. Okay. Next, you're going to have your battery ground or negative. That's going to go through the sensor, and you're going to hook it up to another one of the ground studs. It doesn't really matter which one, but I chose the bottom one. Gives me a little more slack. And the last one you've got is your battery positive. Now there's a 250 amp fuse, so we are staying fused, and this wire does go to the alternator already. You're going to run another one to the alternator on the other side. Going to zip tie it to this wire loom or harness, and then you're going to run down, I don't know if you can see it too well, down through here underneath the intake manifold. Now on the other side of the intake manifold, underneath the car, is your alternator. This is your alternator right here, and on the back side of the alternator there's a nut. You're going to want to take that nut off and connect that red wire to the back over there. Again, make sure you zip tie it in place so it doesn't rattle around, and that's all you got to do. When you are doing this, before you begin, disconnect this. Disconnect the ground, and make sure it's out of the way so it doesn't touch anything, because you do not want to be working with a live wire over here that's connected to the battery and have the chance to short circuit that and mess something up. So be safe, guys. Alright, the difference on the Chevy Sonic is going to be, for the ground negative battery cable to the chassis, you're not hooking it up over here to one of the ground studs. Your ground stud's actually going to be the frame rail on the side underneath the battery tray. So that's why that cable is a little bit longer. I think on this one's a 16 inch and on the Sonic is a 20 inch, so you get a slightly longer cable for that, just so you guys know where that's going to be hooked up. Alright, so the next question I get is, what's the point? Okay. This is primarily to support higher electrical loads than most people are going to have. So if you've got a high-end power inverter, for example, if you've got electronics in the car, or if you've got a sound system, the biggest use case is going to be the sound systems. If you've got subs specifically, your sub amp is going to put quite a bit of amperage. Now, your alternator on these cars is 130 amps, but the stock 4 gauge 4 AWG spec wire is only going to support about 75 amps in power transmission. And with the 130 amp alternator, 75 amps on the cable, anytime you want to pull more than 75 amps, you're going to start losing some of that due to resistance, and it gets converted into heat through the cable. So what we're doing here is we're doubling that up with a second 4 AWG spec cable. That'll give us a total of 150 amps of power transmission, which will exceed the capability of the alternator, and that will allow us to run higher electrical loads. The net result will be more stable voltage when you're bumping bass in the car, especially at night when your headlights are on and you're pulling even more amperage. And what you're going to notice is you get less light dimming. Now you're still going to have a little bit, but it's not going to be anywhere near as bad. This is one thing that multiple people have reported. I would say anywhere between about 500 to 750 watt amplifier. Anytime you go above that, I would highly recommend a Big 3 kit. It's going to make a big difference. It's going to stabilize your voltage, and because you are stabilizing your voltage, you're maintaining a higher voltage, you will actually run your amplifier cooler and more efficiently. So that will help as well in that respect. So this big 3 kit, you can order these on cruzekits.com. I'll put a link in the description. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Again, this is a premium product. This is a true 4 AWG spec. It's not just a 4 gauge as some competitors are using. It does not use open ring terminals. They are closed ring terminals. I do make these for the Chevy Sonic. I make these for the Cruze, and I will custom make them for any application that you guys need. If you got a car that's not one of these and you want the big 3 kit made, I will make it. I just need to know the terminal sizes and the cable length, and I'll get these made up for you. These do use a 5-ton hydraulic crimp, so these are extremely strong. You're not going to be able to get those terminals off. And I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Put them in the comments. I'll put a link to order these in the description as well. And lastly, if you guys want any AMSOIL products, I am a dealer. I've been a dealer for 7 years. I do about 150 grand in sales a year. I got plenty of inventory right here of all sorts of products for all sorts of applications. So if you guys need anything, just let me know. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good day, guys.